Hey everybody, we're here at the Porsche dealership, and we thought it'd be really fun to bring Ian here because obviously if you've been with the channel a while, you know he loves cars, and we wanted to see what it would be like for him to act as a car salesman, because it's something he's talked about, either being an auto mechanic or a car salesman. And I have a question for you guys, and that is, would you rather buy from someone who's a really good people person, maybe a little pushy, could be manipulative, will do anything to get you into a car today, right? Or would you buy from someone who's a little bit more literal, maybe a little bit more socially awkward, but knows cars really well and knows probably the right car for you? And before you answer that in the comments, I also have a story at the end of this video that might help you with that decision a little bit. But let's go ahead and flip the camera around and have Ian basically sell us some cars, okay? All right, Ian's gonna tell us about this car, so go ahead.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2023 Porsche 911 Turbo S. It has 640 brake horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque, and it is just beautiful. It costs $216,000. You heard it right, $216,000. So it is not cheap.
So this is a kind of a top-of-the-line model right here.
Yeah, it's one of the top 911 models of all time. I believe this one should go 2.6 seconds in 0 to 60.
Nice, that's really fast.
Yeah, really fast. If it were your reaction, it's probably gonna either make you react, it's probably gonna make you like, whoa, or make you scream.
Awesome. And again, we apologize about the noise in the background.
Yeah.
They're expanding here, so it's gonna be very noisy, windy. There's just no way around it, to be honest.
Yeah, unless we go inside.
Yeah, or if, I mean, even if I had a shotgun mic, I mean, that stuff's going on in the background. Yeah, really nice car. Let's check out another one, Ian.
Yeah.
All right, Ian, what's this car right here?
This is a Porsche Boxster.
Okay. And how is this a little bit different from the other ones?
This is a flat four. The difference between flat fours compared to other sports cars is that their cylinders are in a row. They're not placed like the average car.
Okay. So you're saying this is a 4 cylinders in a row, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that?
Yes, just like that. A Porsche GT3 RS, of course.
Ooh, GT3 RS. I've heard some good things about this. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing this is more of a track car, is that right?
Yep, the GT3 and the GT2 RSs could generally be track cars.
Okay, can I still drive it like on the weekends on the road though?
Yeah, I wouldn't consider too much of a daily driver. They have a lot of horsepower and a lot of torque.
Okay,
so
if I wanted to take it on the weekend, say with some golf buddies and show off, would I be able to do that?
If you're to show off your sports car?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can show off your sports car. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, it's very sporty. It's got this, what is this called back here? This wing thing, what is that called?
It's a rear spoiler.
Rear spoiler, and what does that help with?
It helps with aerodynamics and maybe even some downforce.
Oh, okay. So it helps grip the road a little better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's beautiful. And I noticed here on the back, what are these yellow things on the tire? What's that about?
I believe that's part of the brakes.
Yeah, brakes. Very good. And do you know the part name of that?
The part name?
Yep, for that yellow piece.
Calipers.
Very good, very good. Yep, that's the caliper. Right down there, that's the brake caliper. But you can see here, what are these, Ian? These little grill things.
There's like vents or something.
They are vents, very good. And is the engine in front or back?
The engine's probably in the back.
Right. They put the engines right in the back, right here. Mm-hmm. All right, Ian. Now let's say I like a sports car as an idea, but I have a family of 5, and we still need to drive it and get groceries and drive them to soccer or whatever. So what kind of car does Porsche have for me there?
Macan.
Okay, what is the Macan?
A Macan is one of Porsche's most popular SUVs ever.
Okay, and are they pretty fast?
They're pretty fast SUV.
Okay, do you know how fast they go?
I'd say they go like, either 160s or 170s of miles per hour.
Depending on the model?
depends on the model, the trim and all. Let's see what kind of Cayman is this.
Man, that's beautiful.
Cayman GT4 RS. And
So this one's the GT4.
Yep.
And it looks like they have the GT3 maybe over there.
Yeah, all the way over there.
So do you know what material this is, Ian? Can you tell me what that is?
That is carbon fiber.
Awesome, yeah. And is it found throughout the car?
Yeah, it can be found throughout the car. Like, it's on the hood, these mirrors, and the vents, the rear spoiler.
Very nice.
And let's see, exhaust tips? No, exhaust tips are steel.
Oh, and you can see a little bit of the engine cover there.
Yeah.
So tell me,
The rear, as always.
why don't you tell me about this soft material I'm seeing all over here on the dash and some of the seats?
I would say that's either some Alcantara or plastic.
Yeah,
No
I think you're
biggie.
right. I think it's Alcantara. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is one of the things about Porsches is they have a lot of, they're similar looking, so it can be really confusing,
Yeah.
like which model is which, but that's why it helps to have an expert, right?
Mm-hmm. That's loud.
Yeah.
Look at that masterpiece.
There it
I
goes.
have to try to raise my voice. It is so loud.
It's loud. That's awesome though. Check the back here.
Oh my gosh.
That is a gorgeous car. What do you think about that, huh?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
They even revved it a little bit.
Yeah. So that's their service bay back there. Where'd you go, Ian? There you are. So yeah, maybe you thought about maybe becoming a mechanic,
Yeah.
working at a place like this.
I could become a Porsche mechanic, a Hyundai mechanic, maybe even a Lambo, Ferrari mechanic.
That'd be cool. All right, so the story I wanted to tell you guys about basically is when Brittany and I went to go get our first car as a couple, which was a Toyota Yaris. Now, when we went to the dealership, we immediately were bombarded with salespeople who were coming out and like, hey, you know, you might want a Yaris, but I think you might want a Camry because you might have a family in the future. It's a little bit more, you know, spacious and luxurious and all this stuff. And they were constantly trying to upsell us. They were getting really pushy. And finally, I just talked to the manager there, who we knew through my mom. And I was like, can I just get a salesman who isn't pushy and who isn't trying to upsell me? We want the Yaris, we just don't know which one yet. And so she sent out a guy who was actually, he was pretty new. I want to say he's been there only a couple days. He was still super quiet and reserved, but he was very knowledgeable. Anytime I asked him a question, he had an answer for it. And he was even able to provide some details that I hadn't even thought of or heard of or anything like that. Like he started talking about the cold weather package, which in Utah is a great thing to have. And yeah, and he didn't talk too much. He just let us drive, experience it, and then had information in detail when we needed it, which was wonderful, you know. And that's kind of my point is, I think most salespeople, and I've worked sales jobs before, and they're almost always encouraging people to be pushy and upsell and, you know, close the sale again and again and again. And I think it's really nice to have people who are maybe not as like socially outgoing and stuff like that, but who are willing to just provide all the details when you need them, have a good knowledge, and be very honest, right? That's another thing that you don't find in a lot of car salesmen is honesty. And Ian is very honest, very literal. He'll just give it to you straight. If he thinks a car is overpriced, if he thinks a car is, you know, maybe there's a better option for the person who is considering it, Ian would tell you. And that's what's so great is he's honest, he's knowledgeable, maybe a little socially awkward, no offense, Ian. I mean, just based on how other people perceive him, right? That's how a lot of people perceive autistic people, is maybe a little socially awkward. Just being brutally honest here, guys. Just being very realistic, because when Ian goes out into the workforce, that will be something that they consider is, can he talk to people well enough to sell them a car? right? If he wanted to be a car salesman. Now, that's not going to be everybody on the spectrum, right? Some people are going to be like way too reserved or just have like zero people skills, or maybe nonverbal. Honestly, that would be very hard to sell a car if you're nonverbal. So those are some things to consider, but I think with Ian, where he's at on the spectrum, he would actually be an excellent car salesman or house salesman or whatever he's interested in, because he has such an obsession for it. And I think I would much rather buy a car from someone like Ian than someone who's like constantly in your face and like, what can I do to get you in a car today? You know, like that kind of attitude. It actually drives me up the wall when people do stuff like that. So yeah, I hope that you got some information out of that, especially when it comes to future employment for autistic people and their passions and hobbies and what might work, what might not. And it always depends, but I think it's kind of a fascinating topic to talk about. Like, could an autistic kid grow up to be a car salesman? Something that's a very extroverted role. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next video.